been asked to leave by a infuriating mayor.
I thought we had met the thing and went back and picked up
He's doing a
Connie.
recap of what happened.
Oh,
You started outside of town, the mayor having asked you to leave, and then the next day he came back and insisted you leave, and there was some confusion had. The mayor obviously not excellent at communicating and didn't seem to care what your guys' opinion was, and you guys eventually departed, heading down the road, and encountered the March, who you'd known was sent for to deal with you guys. After encountering the March, you quickly learned the mayor was an asshat, you guys really didn't do anything wrong, and the March was pretty much on your side from the start. You returned to town, retrieved your party member, paid the paltry sum of 200 gold pieces, and accepted banishment from the annoying mayor's village, well, town, and then proceeded down the road. The March escorted you as far as their fort, where you departed from their company and continued on. But you could not let the crimes of the mayor go unanswered, and shortly after breaking line of sight with the fort, you went off road and circled back to bring yourself back into proximity of the village, trying to locate some of the fishing lakes near it that is their primary source of income. And that is where you guys left off, discussing your plans for vengeance.
Actually, what I have that where we left off is we were discussing with you, the DM, about this, trying to figure out this ritual of the Wildborn.
Yes, I have worked that out for you. I apologize for I did not know you were going to be pulling this out of your hat that quickly. So
I mean,
anyway,
That's why he wears the gnome hat.
I mean, exactly. That's why he wears the big gnome hat.
Alar doesn't have a hat.
they don't
He's
fit
still
over it. It doesn't
smart.
fit over.
He's still smarter than me, so it doesn't matter. He's still smarter than Jack,
It
so it
doesn't fit
doesn't
over
matter.
his horn. So I did write up. Well, no, you could balance the hat on all four horns. It'd just be a really big hat.
I didn't say he couldn't wear a hat. I said he doesn't wear the hat.
I mean, it could be a really, really wide brim hat. You can sit it on there. Get on the
Note to self, find a way to take major image. Illusion
So
Alar a hat.
I wrote this up as flavor. You don't really have to read it if you want, but they are direct translations using comprehend language from Druidic to, well, men.
Okay, I ain't reading all that under.
No, you don't have to
Summarize.
read all of it. If you want, you can. That is all I'm providing. Well, that's not all I'm providing. I have more, but this is I wanted to share because I spent a decent amount of time writing this up, and I'm actually quite proud of all of the steps that it took.
This is
So-
a ritual, you said?
Yes, of the 12 pages you retrieved, it looks like 8 of them are tied to the actual ritual of the Wildborn. The other 4 appear to be the ritual of activation, which you think had something to do with that teleportation circle.
We need the first page.
It's above
Oh.
Alar's image.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yeah, you found all the pages, but page 1, no.
I would do some shit like that. let you guess the first part. Hell, Under did that with the time spell. He gave us only half of it and let us fumble around the front row. And again, look what happened too. So good point.
Greatness is what happened.
But
Well, I mean, I bet you there's some people that thought it wasn't that great.
Alar, you think with some time, with your raw intelligence, you might be able to decipher these pages. But it is not something you're just going to be able to snap your fingers and do.
Right, but we had a day of travel on the way there, so I would have spent that day basically in the carriage deciphering the shit. Had nothing else to do.
So
What
what
if
I'm going to
I-
need from you is 3 flat intelligence checks.
Can I help by snapping my fingers a lot? And one of these times I will snap my fingers when he gets the idea for it.
This is not something that can be helped. This is all Alar in his brain.
Intelligence,
still
or could I
snap my
use
fingers,
Arcana
though.
for it?
Flat intelligence.
Okay.
This is one of many. There's 3 flat intelligence checks. Okay. And then once you think you've interpreted, okay. So you're able to figure out let's see. I need this open to my next. Hang on. So how do you make a quote under? Like where it's got the little bar?
Select the text, and then in the little context thing that pops up, you can select make quote.
Okay. Ah. You're able to figure out those as the in pages 1 through 5 as some of the ingredients.
Nani? Diamond dust. We gotta summon Shiva? What the hell?
But you're not able to figure out the ingredient that is listed as the face of the moon.
Ash, there's Pokemon in this?
It's cheese.
Oh.
And the other ingredient you can't figure out is the pulse of the wild beyond the woods. The liquid light of moon stolen from the first dawn.
Ash of a tree struck by lightning during a full moon. Wow.
Hey, DM,
Mm.
is the moon in this world tidally locked to the planet?
There are two moons. One of them is the primary timekeeping moon. So when people talk in terms of weeks and stuff like that, they're usually referring to the pearl moon. And then there's also the emerald moon, which has a much longer, not irregular orbit, but its phases are like the way that it turns to the sun facing the planet because it's a very high elliptical angle. It's much longer. When both moons are full, it's usually a half a year, often punctuated by a twin moons festival, where a good majority of the world will stop and celebrate.
What is the sarcophagus of a tree grown in gold?
You probably would remember the sarcophagus in the Dwarven Grove were
Oh.
incredibly heavy.
Oh.
You didn't know why at the time. They looked like they were made out of wood, but that would probably answer your question as to why they were so heavy. They're magically infused with gold.
Okay, so all that stuff is easy to make or get. So yeah, let's do this. What are we missing? You said there was 2 pieces.
Well, we don't have any jade. I don't know if we have that much diamond dust. Oh, we do.
But then,
However,
now that you've got an idea of how the metaphoric language is, you're getting an idea for the deciphering of it. Now I need 3 Arcana intelligence checks.
two
A
passes
little
or
bit
fail.
higher. You don't know what a DC is.
Well, I mean,
He's
22
a
and
wizard trying to
25.
figure out what the fuck the druid said.
What?
I mean, would it help if somebody knew how to speak Druid?
Well, he's using comprehend language. It's not so much a language barrier; it's the metaphors that he's puzzling over right now. All right, and then I need
I
a.
didn't know he was Jewish.
He's using comprehend language. Then I need 3 intelligence insight checks.
Fuck that one up.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just make up what we missed. I mean, how many times has that gone?
Eh.
All right. That. Then. You lucky bastard. All right, so that took you about the entire day to decipher of writing. But you did figure out all of the steps. I'm just rewording some things because you don't know all of the ingredients. I didn't make this modular enough for this. All right, so you did figure out the steps completely. Like you're able to deduce the like the magic side of things of the actual ritual, and you think that this ritual will take about an hour to perform. That's what you learned.
Yeah. So we're missing several key ingredients, so this won't work.
So, you guys are sitting by one of these big lakes.
How big?
Let's see. You went like you were trying to avoid being near town, so you'd have probably gone as far east as you could, right, to minimize the chance of encountering people. So,
Yes.
if you were going as far east as possible, you would have ended up at the second largest lake, and you can see all the way across. It is about 2, maybe 3 miles across. But you can see what looks like dock structures and boats on the far side. Like you're on the far east, the docks and boats are on the far west. It's about 2 miles that way, and then it's probably about 1.5 miles north to south. It's not a regular shape.
How is the lake fed?
You do not see any rivers.
So what do the fish eat?
What do you mean?
It's a fishing village, you said, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Got a lake. You said
Mhm.
there's no rivers.
Correct.
So usually that would mean the lake is a result of an aquifer.
Yes.
So you got fish. What do the fish
Mhm.
eat?
Insects. I mean, other fish. It's
Smaller fish?
a self-contained ecosystem. It's a lake. Fish eat whatever they eat. You'll have to continue along the train of thought for me to understand the question. Fish eat what fish eat.
So we want to hurt the mayor by impacting his tax revenue.
Mhm.
Our first thought was, okay, well, make some monsters appear. Can't really do that. You know, we just don't have the bits for it. So,
Yeah.
next best plan is to destroy the ecology of the lakes. So they're not fed by a river, which means it is a self-contained ecosystem, which
Correct.
generally means they're not very stable and prone to collapse.
Yes, if one of the links of a self-contained ecosystem were to break, it would compromise the system.
Yeah.
Do you wish to kill all of the insects?
That I don't happen to have a handy scroll of genocide. So
Well, so we could probably mess with the lake pH level by dumping a whole bunch of vinegar into it.
do we have large quantities of vinegar?
I mean, not currently, but I mean, we could always try to get some.
So the reason I was asking is what do the fish eat is if they're like the type of fish that like hop out of the water and grab insects, you know, we can't really affect that food source.
Throw a net over the lake.
But what we could do is it is autumn, I believe.
Yeah.
Revel said, isn't that typically breeding season for fish?
Yeah.
So we could try to find their breeding grounds and fuck with them. That's usually pretty disruptive.
How big is this lake?
A couple miles across, he said.
It's
mean-
about 3 miles from east to west and 1.5 miles north to south. This is the second largest of the 3 lakes. Like if you have heroes, so it wouldn't be hard for you to scout around the entire village with your bird. It would take you probably another day, but you would be able to discover there is one lake that is 5 miles by 4 miles, and then there's another lake
Yeah.
that is 3 miles long and only about a half mile wide.
Right, but we only need to break one lake. It'll reduce his income by a third, which will fuck with his ability to pay taxes.
The lakes aren't equal sized.
Right, but this is the middle one, so
Yeah.
I'm guesstimating here.
This is of the 3 the medium sized one. Yes. like the middle of the three in average. But
So
would you have spent time with Hero scouting and getting all of that information? Because I
yes.
can give you a little bit more. So the large lake to the north of the village, that one looked like it had the most dock and fishing structure set up on it. It looked like they were primarily using like a drag net. It didn't look like it was like they were pulling a lot of fish up in the drag net, and there was only 2 or 3 ships out, or ships out, or fishing vessels. They're not really ships; they're only 30 feet long.
What kind of fish are they catching?
Looks primarily to be trout or something thereabouts.
How will this affect the trout population?
Every pet spader.
They're
Hmm?
never going to recover.
Something. Oh, I I I have a really strange idea. How wide is the lake?
North to south, it is 1.5 miles.
Okay. What would happen if you kind of desecrated the area?
Are you thinking about using your glaive?
Yeah.
You don't think because of the small radius that the glaive has, that would have much of an impact. You would have to spend a reasonable amount of time
Yeah. Okay.
doing that. It is an idea.
Well, I like that idea though. But what I would say is we should find like the breeding grounds of the fish and do it there.
Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. So as this thing drains away vitality, it regains charges, right?
Yes.
So theoretically, by the way it's written, if I could continue to say the charge word, the activation command, it would continuously do it, right? And if I like put it in the lake, it would continuously corrupt the lake as it expands outward. Right?
One issue is it doesn't work that way. 2, if you
I mean,
read
it's
the language, it's when you hit a living creature, you may expend 1 charge.
it says I can drive the blade into the. Oh, it's only once per day. Never mind. I misread that part. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, that is a recharge mechanic. That is if you need to get charges back quick.
Yeah, but it rots the ground. Once per,
Mhm.
yeah, but not enough to do anything here. Well, other than that, I got nothing, y'all.
How sensitive to temperature changes are these?
Well, typically in a like a landlocked lake like these 3 are, they are pretty reliant on the surface of the water being frozen for the fish to survive winter. Otherwise, the temperature of the water would decrease lower than the temperature of the fish's tolerance, and they would all die, regardless of how many of them spawned.
So, if we're just trying to kill the fish, my little flamethrower turret lasts for an hour every activation, and I can activate it 7 times a day if I use up all my magic.
Are you suggesting you want to make an effort to boil several million cubic meters of water?
Uh, we don't need to boil 7 million cubic meters. But if over the winter, nobody's patrolling this area, that is 7 hours, we can melt holes to let the outside air and environment go down below the ice on top of the lake and disrupt the ecosystem down there.
Eh, basically have to do it all winter long. And I would actually have to do math to figure out the thermal economics of that because I don't think that would actually have
Fluid
that much of an
dynamics.
impact. Yeah, the body of water would naturally reach a point of equilibrium. You would basically have the entire surface of the water unfrozen for it to actually have major impact.
I mean, we could go this. No, the lake's too big for any conventional thing. So apparently, the only way we can get revenge is to like burn the town down and put everyone to the sword.
Well, I still think finding the spawning ground of the trout and disrupting it would be, economically damaging.
But trout don't usually, they need, they usually spawn up, they have to go upstream.
There's no upstream.
There's several different types of trout. And not all trout and
We're
salmon
talking about bass.
return. Yeah.
Or bass or like catfish.
Yeah, trout. Not all trout and salmon return to the the motherland to breed.
Motherland.
What are they?
Oh shit, they're communist fish. Now they have to die.
I mean, yeah.
Fireball.
The commu trout.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been fatherland fish.
Here, Erica in the background.
Right, so I really do suggest then that did Hero spot any when he was flying over the lake? Any unusual concentrations of fish that would indicate spawning grounds?
That would have probably been something he would have had to make a perception check. So just go ahead, just do a 3 perception checks for him. All right. You didn't really see any heavy concentrations of fish in any particular area, but you did notice along the northern banks it was a lot more gravelly, which is typically where they would prefer to breed.
And is that close to or far away from the town?
It is closer to the town than you are now. But in terms of like on the lake itself, the lake is pretty well surrounded by moderate woodlands. So if you walked over there, they wouldn't see you. If like the town's, a mile and a half, 2 miles away.
Okay. Then this seems like it's easy enough. We can just go over there and use mold earth to just completely turn over the breeding grounds. Alaric, you build me that, and I'll happily turn this lake into your fire base.
Wouldn't that be more Marin's ballpark?
You forgot the Neil deGrasse guy that goes.
I mean, by our powers combined, we might be able to get it to work.
Yeah, well.
Jack can throw a fish.
That, or we won't destroy the ecosystem. We just vastly improve upon the fish delivery system and then take over because we're richer than everybody else. Either or.
We were richer
Would-
than everybody else. We just didn't want to kill the guy.
Yeah, but even more richer. Because
And I'm willing to revisit that
Oh.
plan.
Alternatively, alchemy jug, which would be more disruptive into a lake. 4 gallons of beer, 2 gallons of vinegar, or 12 gallons of salt water, or 1 gallon of wine every day.
The
12
scale of
gallons
this
of
lake,
salt water.
none of that would be all that effective. We're talking
Yeah.
upwards of like 3 or 4 million gallons here.
Yeah, we'll be here a while.
The problem is things like that, like vinegar, or anything water-based, will just get diluted and eventually evaporated off. The amount of salt you're adding is so minuscule compared to the size of the lake that it'll take us the whole fucking winter to make even a measurable impact, much less a effective one. And oil-based stuff will just float on the surface without really hurting the fish all that much until you get to obscene levels of it. I'm not sitting here all winter.
Rough estimate is 28 billion gallons.
Well, there you go.
That's a lot of fucking water.
On the other hand, the trout are leaving their eggs on the surface of that gravelly area, in theory. Like, it's under the water, but on the surface they're not burying them or anything. So we go over there, use mold earth, simulate a sinkhole, turn the dirt over, and completely bury their eggs. It will fuck up the spawn for the season and cause an economic depression.
Or
Most trout. Most trout will migrate during their spawning season to wherever they lay their eggs. The female digs a small depression in the gravel, lays her eggs, and the male comes over and squirts.
Well, what I mean, though, is it's not like they're injecting it with a promiscuous, 3 feet down.
Yeah, they're usually just
Yeah, they're not
flipping their tail and making they're making a little divot and dropping the eggs in there so they don't float around in the lake current.
Right. Right. I'm saying we go over there and we just cause a simulated sinkhole and completely disrupt all of that. And that will likely cause the amount of fish in the lake to drop precipitously. Everything that feeds on the fish will also have a problem. You'll have a rise in insects. It'll just be a bad time.
Yes. The incurring wrath of the mosquitoes.
Does anybody have a better idea than that?
not with our current lack of major resources.
Agreed. Alright. So, yeah, we use stealthy work our way over to the breeding grounds, mold earth as a cantrip, zap, 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 zap. And I just like dig out a depression on the dry side of the lake and just sort of cause what looks to be like a sinkhole that collapsed on the side of the lake. and has happened to disrupt this breeding ground.
All right. So you're outside of the water, making a divot.
More like, because my understanding of your description is on the shore, so in the shallows of the water is this gravel area. Yes?
Yes, like the beach. Here, let me just draw a real quick squiggly picture. Okay. Phone, Discord, camera. Ignore the math. That was for a video game. Oh, I can get it without. Hey, it kind of looks like a car. Okay, so real quick, it looks like if that was the lake, that large area is all loose substrate gravel. And that's, yes, it is shallower. That is only, between 5 and 8 feet deep, whereas the rest of the lake, you really couldn't even see the bottom. It's anywhere between 20 and 50 feet deep. But that particular side is what what Hero's seen. And, based on your intelligence, this particular, like rainbow trout, they use gravel for their breeding ground. You remember reading it somewhere.
Right. So what
Yeah,
I'm suggesting is at the apex of that curve, you make like a 20 by 20 by 20 divot, roundish, not cubic, obviously, but roughly about 20 feet across, 20 feet down. And then using mold earth, we can regrade that gravel area to now, instead of having a rising elevation towards the edge of the lake, you have a decreasing elevation as you get towards this new divot that we've made. And in the process of regrading it, we can basically use the gravel to destroy all of the nests.
Okay.
And it ends up looking like it was just a natural sinkhole that just happened to form in the shallow end, which just reshaped the coastline a bit.
So you want to excavate a bunch of dirt and push. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to track here. You want to excavate the dirt and then use the dirt to go over top of the gravel?
No.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me sketch something for you.
Yep.
What is that, a shoe?
That's a picture of the lake from above.
Oh, that's the lake. Oh, that is.
Right. So, assuming that topographically, the lake initially looks like the top one, right? You got a deep center, it kind of comes up gradually on the sides, and a long gradual area in that bow out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If
so
you wanted to just
I want to turn it into that lower one, where I basically turn that shallow area into a second, but not as deep depression, causing a kind of a saddle effect in the middle there.
Okay.
as if a
And-
sinkhole had collapsed underneath the shallow.
And then you want to breach the water so that it will flow into there and pull the gravel with it.
No, I'm reshaping the entire area.
Tearing up their spawning grounds.
I guess I'm just not. I'm looking at it. Okay. So first image is default. Second image is your modification.
Yes.
So you want to go into the gravel area
Yes.
and sink it down so that it's deeper.
Sort of. Think less like I'm sinking the gravel area, more like I'm going to bury a 500-pound bomb there and detonate it to create a crater. That's not as deep as the lake, but that causes a secondary depression in the lake and destroy the gravel area.
I see what he's doing. Yeah.
Okay. That will take you a decent amount of time.
Like a couple hours? I mean, how big is this area? You don't have dimensions on your drawing.
Well, the lake is 1.5 miles north to south.
Yeah, the lake itself, I'm not trying to reshape. I'm just asking about the gravel area. How
That
big
gravelly
is that?
area is about 0.5 mile across and probably 1 mile long. Like north to south is about 0.5 mile. East to west is about 1 mile.
Okay. So I can affect a 5x5x5 cube of earth with one casting. Each casting takes 6 seconds. So it's
Yep.
going to take
Minecraft it.
about, let's see, go across would be about 1,000 castings. So it's about we call it an hour and a half. Have to do that. So it's going to take about 10 hours or so.
Also, your knowledge would, like, they rely on the gravel being loose. Like, the fish are reliant on the gravel being loose and fluffy. If you can describe gravel as fluffy. Okay.
Well, we're basically turning it into silt. So
Yep.
it won't be loose, fluffy gravel anymore.
All right. Well, I think I said you guys got there morning.
Yeah, so we basically spend the day doing this.
Well, we should probably
Yeah.
do it at night, just in case anybody comes around. Like they can't like poke at us.
Yeah, we were trying to be stealthy. Sure, we'll do it at night.
All right. Yeah, you guys set up your camp. Wait for nightfall, resting so that your sleep schedule isn't disrupted. It'll only require one exhaustion check for everybody for shifting the sleep schedule, and that's it. So, con saves for everybody, and that's it. Alar is pumped. He had his coffee.
Coffee.
Alaric is jiving. Burger, are you here?
Jive
Yep.
into the Java.
Oh, all right. Everybody is
Con save, you
enthused.
said?
Con save, yeah, just exhaustion check. Yeah, you guys are ecstatic and pumped. And then night falls and you begin your plan. And throughout the night, Alar spends a whole lot of time fucking digging holes and holes and holes and holes. And eventually,
You sure he isn't a dwarf?
well, he did tell his grandpa he tired. But yeah, eventually you are able to, and you think this will be sufficiently disruptive to this lake's fish. they're going to have a bad time in the next couple of weeks as they go looking for spots to stick their babies.
All right. Mission accomplished. Let's get out of here. And we sneak back the way we came, past the fort, and then heading, I think you said north to Ghent.
South, but yes.
The south, yes. Well, I don't exactly have a map to reference. So then we head south to Ghent.
I'm
working on it.
We kind of just spent 2 days just
3
being
days.
annoying.
No,
3 days just being annoying.
It took you 2 days to get there, a day to fuck with the lake, and another basically 2 days to get back. It was a 5-day detour to do this.
To be
what'd
petty.
what'd you
Just
guys
to be
do?
petty.
What did you guys do at the lake?
They fucked over the fish. Fish
Just
can't
to
have
be
babies.
petty.
Nathan
They-
and I
they-
are both
they-
in the car.
They buried all of the like valid spawn
So,
points for the fish.
It's a fishing village, right? So they depend on the lake actually producing fish for them to catch in the next season to make money and pay taxes. So we
And
went to
feed their
one of the
families.
lakes and basically disrupted rather thoroughly the ability of the fish to spawn. So come next season, they're going to have a very poor catch. And if we did it right, and if we did it enough, this will be an ongoing and permanent damage to that lake's ecosystem.
Perfect. Let's kill the mayor.
No. So that's the best part. We
We
didn't kill the mayor. We ruined him. He will now struggle to make those tax payments, and he's going to have the government breathing down his neck for the next decade.
and the people of the village are gonna starve.
That'll teach him to
I mean, that'll definitely teach him. So petty.
Because the fish don't have anywhere to spawn, they're going to have no map pressure, so they're going to get bodied the entire patch.
we could just make him force him to spawn in the middle of the lake and then just cast fireball a bunch of times. Just get XP for days. That's
No,
how that
that-
works.
No. No.
And have a good
That's-
fish boil.
Oh, and just in case it does come up, to get rid of the excess dirt from our excavation, I just dump it in the middle of the lake.
Pound. So basically, we're gonna go starve a whole city and then be okay with this.
No,
Yes.
we only disrupted maybe a third of their fishery production, so they won't starve. They're just going to be economically depressed.
Or
They will not have enough fish to bring to market, and they won't be able to bring home the bacon. So they're going to have to eat their fish because they don't have enough fish surplus.
Nice.
So they won't starve. The townsfolk will be mostly fine. It's the mayor that is going to suffer the most because he's going to have the Republic coming down on him saying, "Hey, you have a 200 or 2,000 gold piece tax a year, and you're not meeting your quota. So we're going to have to basically evict your mayorship and put somebody else in there." You basically, long term got this guy fired.
Okay, Connie for mayor.
Oh, God.
I mean, my plan was just to kill him. No, you can't run for mayor.
Your plan was to kill a guy. My plan was to ruin the town.
Hey, yeah.
I'm gonna run as the Democrat ticket.
But anyway,
Blowjobs and
yep,
free-
you guys
blowjobs
spend
and
another
free-
2 days going back to the road and heading south to Ghent.
Yep, just whistling casually the whole way to Ghent. Just acting all casual like.
All right.
walk casual like.
All right. But yeah, you guys do make your way, and eventually you end up continuing south. There's a couple of villages here and there, but none of them are really like a travel stop. They're small farming villages with a couple hundred acres. Nothing noteworthy. Everybody seems, they give you distance. Nobody seems bothered by your existence, like that particular mayor was for some odd reason. And then you reach the Copper Road.
Is it really
And
made of
mind you,
copper?
No, it seems to have gotten its name because of the limestone is embedded with iron. So it's rusty limestone, so it gives it a bit of a color of copper.
Right.
It
All
was an
right.
incorrect
Puts my
misnomer.
pickaxe away.
It was an incorrect misnomer that stuck because it is one of the primary trade roads.
No, don't put the pickaxe away. We need to dig under. There might be copper under that. They're hiding it.
Well, and mind you, Torrin has been with you. Is that what I named him?
Who is Torrin?
I forgot what I
Torrent.
named the gnome.
Torrent, the horse from Elden Ring.
Could have sworn that's in my fucking notes. Well, anyway, the gnome historian that is currently under your guys' liege has paid no mind to your guys' activities. He doesn't care.
I completely
just
forgot
kind
he existed.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is he's just kind of shrugged. It's like they're doing whatever they're doing. I just gotta get to Genth.
That's nice. We don't fill him in on what we're doing, just that it's necessary.
It's science.
Yeah. But upon reaching the Copper Road, which is about 80 feet across, it is a large road.
Yeah, it's a good sized road.
I cannot fucking find where I threw it in one of my dump fucking piles. Anyway, Porn would begin rambling on about the Copper Road. Ah, yes, a funny name. You see, before the fall, apparently, this was not a road, but it was a home to beasts of steel and fire. One of these could carry 1,000 people from city to city. Oh, to be back then, it would have been magnificent. And then he promptly dozes back off.
Okay. Well, not the craziest academic I've heard.
But yeah, eventually, another. Where's my? Let's see, you guys there, you're there. Yeah, another. I don't know, half a week. 4, 5 days pass, and you're about a day from Genth. You have day and a half. Yeah, you've gone across a large bridge that crosses a reasonably sized river. Its architecture is strange, but it just looks really, really old. But then, about midday, you guys come across what looks like a rather large size farming village. And it's not on the road. It's probably about a quarter mile to a half mile north of the road itself, but you can clearly see you are surrounded by what used to be fields of crops. They appear to all have been harvested. And you can see villagers moving. There's long barns, they're probably about 100 to 200 feet long each, and there are dozens of them. And a caravan's passing you guys as well. It's about 4 caravans or 4 wagons, and about a dozen guys riding on horses around it, and look like more mercenary garb. And then the town itself looks to be getting ready to load. As you can see, dozens of wagons that are all pulling up and queuing by the different barns.
Okay, I mean, it's also got typical farming village and harvest time.
It does.
Oh, wait.
And as you guys continue, the number of caravans you've crossed has, been a couple here and there, and then they start kind of piddling out as you get closer and closer to Ghent. And for those who have been keeping track of time, it was 5 days from Velmill to get back on the road, and it was another 8 to get to Ghent as you guys begin approaching the city. But here the road begins to widen. And you can see ahead of you about half a dozen different groups and a large stone wall with much city spilling out beyond it. Looks like there's a reasonably sized residential neighborhood on this side. But the road itself is pretty clear. And, it's not quite nightfall, it's early evening. And it looks like there's a queue of about half a dozen wagons and people groups ahead of you. And the furthest ahead one is talking to, it looks like, 3 different guards.
This is the entrance to Ghent?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just wait. We're not in any rush.
Yeah. And you guys wait. It takes you about half an hour or so, and the wagons move ahead of you, and you don't have anybody come up behind you, but it is rather late in the evening, so that tracks. And eventually, you reach the guards, and the caravan ahead of you pulls in, and the one guard steps out and comes up to the side of the carriage, and he asks, "All right, don't you was in charge?"
I suppose I am.
All right. Well, Do you have your paperwork in order for your carriage and any other, well, like that thing? And he kind of he looks curiously at Nibbles. It does not say anything, like he's not exclaiming or freaking out or anything like that.
So you said before I'm a native to Ghent, right?
No, you aren't. Alaric is.
Ah.
You're from the island that makes wine, which is about
Gotcha.
the size of Australia. Actually, a little bit bigger than Australia. But Alaric is familiar with Ghent. He is a native.
So I just end up looking at like Alaric, like, do you have our paperwork in order? Because I have no idea what he's talking about.
Paperwork.
Alaric, you would have residency papers, like you would have
Ah.
a simple document with a stamp on it.
I dig around my robes there for a bit. Like, where did I put those fucking? Here.
All right, well that covers you. As for the rest of your
They're staying
party,
with me.
I understand that, but you have a carriage, and looks like some sort of beast. No matter, it's not that complicated. All you gotta do is go into Old Town, get a travel voucher for the carriage to be able to use it within the city limits. Otherwise, you can park it, and he kind of just gestures back to the west at one of the many stables on the outskirts. As for the creature, that will have to be checked out by Pulver. What's that fucking ranger's name? And he's looking back to the guard. The guard behind him kind of just shrugs. He checks out animals that come in that are different. But I'm sure he can write something up for you for this thing. He is on the 4th floor in, I don't even remember what's the building that all the horses go to. Either way,
Glue factory. But yes, sir. We'll take care of that.
all right. That'll be 2 copper for you, and he points at Alaric, 2 silver for everybody else, and then gold for the beast.
I'll pay for Nibbles.
So it's like 8 silver for everyone and 2 copper for Alaric.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with Alaric covering Nibbles, you just pay the man the rest of it.
All right. Yeah. And he takes it, and he like reaches around his back with it, and you hear coins jangle. And he kind of just waves you in.
Okay. Yeah.
And
We'll
ahead
go.
of you, the main street, which Alaric, being a resident, would have good knowledge of the layout of the city itself. He would know that you are in the the woodworking side of town, which is Hollow's End. And so you're basically surrounded by lots of like woodworking industry with a little bit of residential mixed in. And he would also know you basically want to go into the north a little bit, and that will get you to Old Town for the bureaucratic side of things.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go get all that squared away then.
Yeah, so you guys head in. All right. And about 3/4 of the way through the woodworking area, there is a gnome who looks like he came running out of a side street. And he like just jumps up on your carriage. He looks like to be like a carpenter. Like he has carpenter garb on. Looks like his hands are well worked. Ah, and this is at you, Alar. He climbs up on the carriage and he is looking in the window at you, rather excitedly.
Do
Ah,
I recognize this guy?
nope.
Okay.
Complete stranger to you. He looks to be like middle age for a gnome, so hundreds somewhere in there.
Sure.
I knew that wizard never paid attention to the details. Came in, haggled me half to death, then ran off without even noticing things. This is a magnificent carriage, and I will happily see it in anybody else's hands. Where did you end up picking up my girl?
What was the name of that starting city we were in?
Colderfall.
All right, yeah, I tell him Colderfall.
How the hell? Well, whatever. Some fucking moron went up north with it. But you lot, he left before I got to finish. He was adamant about it, although he did pay well, so it doesn't matter. You lot, you have the carriage, and that means you deserve the desk as it was meant to be. Please, please, come with me. And he just hops off the carriage and runs back up that side street.
Will the carriage fit down that side street?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 carriage abreast. Like these are very large streets. This is a massive city.
Oh, right, but some of the alleys might just be for pedestrian traffic. That's why I'm asking before I direct us to drive into it and we end up like those trucks that happen in the UK where they get wedged between 2 stone walls.
The Austin Powers incident. But yeah. If you follow him, he seems to be stopping and waiting for you, and then he runs on a little bit, and about 100 feet north of the street. You're not even sure how he's seen you, other than the fact that the carriage does stand out. It is opulently made, so if you made a really nice thing, you'd notice it right away. That's kind of what this vibe you're getting from this guy. He built this thing. He immediately knew it was his.
Okay.
And yeah. So he's like, come, and he waves you towards what looks like a large opening, like sort of like a garage or garage of some sort. And
A carriage house, if you will.
Yes. From your perspective, you think your carriage would easily fit in there, and then if you do turn in, you can see that it connects to the other side. Like it goes through the entire building, and there's a street on the other side you can see as well.
Okay, sure. We'll pull in.
Yep. And then he runs up into the loft and grabs something. And then he runs back down. It looks like metal wrapped in cloth. And he hops up into the carriage and oh, hello, little friend. And he boops Nibbles on the snoot. I'm going to need you to move for me. I'd like to put this in.
Yeah, I urge Nibbles to, move into a flanking position so if the gnome turns hostile, you can eat him.
And like a frustrated cat being asked to move off of the comfy spot, he slinkies out of the carriage onto the ground and then rolls over out of the way. And the gnome immediately goes to work on what looks like the other side of the carriage. And he's putting fittings on things, grabbing out a hammer, tinkering, pounding something in. And once he's complete, when he's done, you can see it looks like is the actual correct desk for this carriage. The one that you have is similar in design, but is primarily made out of wood. And he looks at you and he goes, "Do you want me to swap that one out too?"
Sure.
I was gonna say, yeah. If the desk you had was a 5, the desk he installed is a easy 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So he begins ripping the top off and stuff like that. But before he pulls the hinging part out, he goes, "Ah, well, you figured out the secret compartment.
That I did.
Did you manage to figure that out? The secret compartment?"
You're talking about the one where that had the spell scrapping components in it, right?
And he goes, the large one underneath the bench? No, not that one. Not that. The secret compartment inside the secret compartment. And he kind of taps his head.
No, I did not find the secret compartment.
Ah, well, that's simple enough. And he, on the hinge of the, like where the tabletop comes down, he twists and presses on, and it looks like it was rudimentarily installed, which made it even harder to see that there was even a button there. On the brass one, it blends in flawlessly, but on this one, it's just so shoddily made that you would have just thought it was, components, and never would have thought that that was a button. And upon doing so, you hear, upon him doing that, you hear a soft click, and inside of the bench, which he lifted up to show you, a small tray pops out from the back and middle. It's only about 6 inches across and 3 inches deep. But inside is a simple ashwood case.
Huh.
But he looks at it and goes, "Huh, he left something. Well, either way." And he goes back to installing the desk, completely ignoring the ashwood case.
Well, while he's doing that, I'll grab the case and open it up.
Yeah, it just has a simple sliding lid. It's reasonably nicely made. It's a pretty seamless finish, but you can easily tell that it's just 2 pieces of wood and one of them slides. Inside there are 2 rings and a lead lining.
Oh.
The rings have a glimmer of magic.
Yep. Well, while he's banging away at the tables, I guess I'll just do a quick identify ritual on them.
Yeah, and before you finish your first ritual, he has the second desk installed. It looked like it was designed to just be slotted on and bolted on, and the hinge fitting, you could see is the button, very well disguised.
Hmm.
I need to go and find, because do I have? I think I have. I don't have. Son of a bitch. One second. I put those in the wrong spot. Well, one of them you would identify, and you'd know from our DMs. Is the Ring of 10,000 Eyes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The other one I have to find. Ah, here we go. And that's the. Didn't keep the formatting. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, sorry. That's the other one. Oh yeah, I need to go to the other part, not that part. Wrong one. Ignore that.
Okay.
That is the thing. It.
You left some instructions in there.
Yeah. It was. I was rewriting this scene. I don't know why. Oh, because it likes to frickin' whenever you frickin'. Okay, hang on. That was just me. Yeah, when I was fixing it. Because it likes to frickin'. Oh, well, we could do this. No, I said don't touch it. Yeah, so that's actually exactly what it is. It's just because of that particular wording, it liked to be like, oh, well, we can change this whenever we're, inject it into the prompt. And it's like, no, it needs to be worded that way because it's supposed to stack. That's the whole point. Like, you understand mechanically what that's doing.
Okay. Do we actually have a thief in the party?
Slick. You do have an arcane trickster. He is not currently present.
Access.
Spirit, all right.
Yeah, Access is basically like a ring that really buffs sleight of hand checks.
He is setting up his computer upstairs. He'll be here in a minute.
How far upstairs? Like, you can shout and get to him?
I'm in the basement. He's above me.
So you can shout and he can hear you?
Kinda.
Well, please shout for me. Ruffles said he's a bitch.
2 seconds.
Thank you kindly. I knew he would.
You're good.
But then the gnome also asks, do you have a medallion, or are you just driving around hoping to pay a fine?
Well, the guard directed us to the old city district to get the medallion. We were on our way there when you waylaid us.
Oh, yeah, the carriage house masters and Old Town. Pricks. Oh, here, 1 second. And he runs into an office, it looks like, in the lower area. And he comes back out with a like a wooden case, about the size of a sheet of paper, and he hands it to you. Like, this'll cover one of my carriages. It's supposed to come with it, but the fool left without taking it or anything. He just wanted a carriage. Don't know why a man would pay so much for an opulent carriage and not wait for the final product.
Well, some people just don't appreciate art.
Thank you. You seem like a wise and intelligent being.
You two done jerking each other off?
No.
Oh no, we haven't even gone to that scene yet.
You gotta pay extra for that.
Well,
Spared
for
in
you,
no
that's
expense.
my line of business.
Right. Well,
I showed that in character, by the way.
You just gotten a raised eyebrow.
well, thank you kindly. It will certainly mean we don't have to deal with more onerous government officials.
Indeed, indeed. Anyway, enjoy your stay at Ghent. I'm happy to see my carriage wasn't destroyed.
Oh no, not destroyed. We've
Taking good care of it.
yeah, no, it's been a great carriage. I truly have no complaints about it.
But yes, when he is complete, your guys' carriage has been upgraded for 2 riding seats at the cost of 2 internal seats. It appears they were designed to sit opposed from each other.
Hmm.
Like a catty corner.
You say riding seats or writing?
Writing. The carriage has desks built into them, but they hinge up and swing out of the way. Kind of like a tray table on a plane.
Ah,
But when they're down and in their writing position, they take up the seat across from them.
I was all sitting on my PC. So what's the importance of desks?
It lets
If you have a right-
us
yeah.
scribe scrolls and such while we're traveling.
Yeah, I didn't like the hand wavy mechanic of you can just write on a wagon. If you have ever ridden on a wagon, attempting to just write a simple letter is a pain in the ass. Attempting to actually make a magical spell, which requires a little bit more finicity than just writing a few words, I decided to include the necessity for a higher end carriage, which my world has, with suspension and stuff like that, thus requiring the party to find one, which they did.
Call from the bowling alley Nathan saying, please put
Except-
suspension in the carriage.
The suspense, it's saving my back. But yeah,
My wife would appreciate that.
the trade-off being the carriage itself does not have much cargo capacity as like a large wagon would.
Wow.
But you transport your people and your goods in different things. So anyway, but yeah, it takes him all of like 5 minutes to install both of these, and then the question of the medallion comes up, and he brings the wooden box to you.
Okay.
And then he also wishes you enjoy your stay in Gens.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, you guys are easily able to resume your travels, heading towards the center of the city, where Old Town resides. And coming up to Old Town, you see it is another walled section of the city. It looks to be about 20, 30-foot walls, depending on the section. Although much of the wall itself seems to have been converted into structure. The wall is there, more so in decoration. It doesn't really look like a fortified position. And then, passing through its gates, nobody pays you any mind. And you begin heading towards the center, where there is a large 500-foot across plaza. And towering above you is the clock. See, now I need to go into my master library and find Genth, because that's where all this shit is. Who told me to combine all of my notes onto one document? Well, I thought it would make it easier to jump between things.
There you go.
Spent $600 for a computer running Wi-Fi.
They have the little sticks. Sorry about the hot mic.
No, you're all good. It fills the void.
My brother forgot the Wi-Fi sticks for his PC.
He doesn't have a
So he
Wi-Fi
is-
capable motherboard.
No, we have to screw in the little sticks in the bottom.
Oh, the antennas.
Yes, the antennas. Sorry, I call them sticks.
No, bad.
Your ginger ale? Oh goodness. Kind of smells good. It tastes like seltzery.
Well, yeah, it's ginger ale.
Mute himself.
You opened the door on that one, Jake. Oh my god.
Well, while he's looking that up, guys, these are the 2 rings that we were talking about earlier. That's my question about thieves.
Okay, I apologize. Where is the other? Okay, I can't find the flavor text for the building. Let's go off memory. But there are, several buildings on this plaza. The largest being the clock tower, over 200 feet tall, made of brass and stone. And Alaric would know this thing is pretty much what runs the heart of Ghent because it chimes during the daylight hours, pretty much on the hour, very, very accurately. The insides were reverse engineered by an elf who's now dead. He fixed it and got it running about 80 years ago. But it was one of the few surviving structures from the pre-collapse. Yeah, it's a big clock. The only real noticeable thing is instead of chiming numerical value of bells, each hour chimes with a different tone. So it's not so much, 8 dings for 8 o'clock. It's B sharp for 8 o'clock.
Fair enough.
Then across from that would be the building you're looking for, and that's the one that I couldn't find the flavor text for. But it's the registration building. Oh, here it is. The plaza opens up in an abrupt burst of space. Pale flagstones ringed by squat administrative buildings, couriers darting from door to door, and a few individuals shouting prices about, looks like they're selling ink and paper. Nothing really magical, just looks mundane because this is a pretty paper heavy section of the city. There is a large building with steps. Looks like it's about 2 stories, and there's a line, 30 people deep outside of it. All of them look visibly impatient. Armor-clad freelancers, bounty hunters. They look mercenary type. And then across from that is a quieter building. They, 4 stories. It's only maybe 30, 40 feet across. But it has a wagon wheel and a horse head over the door.
So which one's the line for animal registration?
Um,
Because we don't need to register the cart. We got that already.
Yep.
Just need to take care of Nibbles.
Yeah.
Sweet,
And
sweet nipples.
yeah, you're able to ask a person or two, and they'd be like, the carriage registration building. I believe that's where they handle all the beasts. What kind of beasts do you need to register? Horses don't have registration.
It's a unique
An
carriage.
exotic one.
And with comedic timing, Nibbles pokes his head out the window. Ah, yeah, 4th floor. And the guy kind of shies away and walks away.
Thank you.
But yeah, you're easily able to make your way over there. Going into the building, there is a large clerical area. There's several people working behind desks. And,
Right. So I go in there with like Nibbles with me because I assume he has to come.
Yep. Yeah. Nibbles would follow you too, because I'm assuming you would, kind of coax him or pull a scale out and be like, "Hey."
Yeah, I
pretty
would coax
scale.
him, and if that didn't work, then I'd go for the scale. But otherwise, yeah, just coaxing.
Yeah.
Mean.
He follows you in, no problem.
Yep.
The clerks, the one closest to the door, they don't immediately look up. Like he's an elf, older, and he's writing something down. Are you here for a carriage registration, or are you in? And then he stops talking as he looks up. Oh, it looks like Orson's getting some company. Yeah, 4th floor, straight to the back.
I just nod and continue on.
Yep. And they're kind of like all wide-eyed watching you as I'm assuming the entire party is going, or is it just Alar? Is everybody else hanging out outside?
Kind of I'll go with.
Is anybody staying outside?
Somebody should stay outside. We have a nice cart.
In the nicer part of town, it should totally be okay.
No, this is get can of shit and get. We'll come back out. It'll be up on like wooden barrels or something because they don't have cinder blocks.
Crates. It'll be on wooden crates.
And we just got that nice desk put in. Like, no. Somebody is staying with the Jack, you're staying with the wagon.
Jack, no drinking and driving.
Is that an actual rule in Ghent?
Well, if Jack tries to find her out, drive her out. No, you would.
walks and
Alar would
drinks. I
tell you
mean-
there is no issue with intoxicated driving because the horse does most of the driving.
Yeah, but what if the horse is intoxicated as well?
Let's
If
not
Jack is
have
riding
that.
the horse.
There is an addendum for that, but that's pretty far down there on the list. But it does exist.
Because if Jack is on a horse, we both drink it.
Yeah. Yes. This is the case where the law has both footnotes and gnome notes.
And don't forget what
I
they
mean,
have
'cause
footnotes.
Jack's a big
And
guy, and if
footnote
he's
notes.
gonna get on a horse, he's gonna make sure the horse is feeling good to carry him.
And then you turn the page over and see all of the dwarf notes. Anyway, yeah, there's ample, tie-offs and stuff like that for you guys' horses. Despite the plaza's size, there's really not many carriages. There's a couple other ones, but none of them are like really fancy looking or anything like that. But yeah, you guys are able to leave the carriage in Jack's care, and you head in, greeted by the clerks, and directed upstairs. The 2 floors preceding seem to be like file storage and stuff like that. It's a lot of paperwork. It smells like ink and paper. But yeah, you get to the 4th floor. The hallway smell changes. It's a slight musky and dry hide smell. There's no desk, just a door at the top of the stairs. The door is ajar, and
Is it full of
ha-
jam or honey?
neither.
No.
It's full of water. There's a simple paper sign tacked to the door. It's not even level, and it says "exotic and bonded creatures." Looks to be handwritten and very old. You'd guess this piece of paper is probably 10 years old.
Ah, yes. Nothing more permanent than a temporary solution.
But yeah, the door is ajar.
Well, I assume it's not all the way open, since we could read that.
No, it's cracked like 3-4 inches
Ah.
open.
Yeah, I just shove it open.
Yeah,
Walk in with
you
Nibbles.
push it open. And inside, you see one man standing behind a long work table. It's cluttered with parchment, chalk rubbings, measuring strings, and several books look like annotated field guides. He's wearing heavy green and brown leather with fur. Something you expect somebody to wear, in the cold of the mountains, not on the 4th floor of a bureaucratic building in a large city. He's a human with a full beard and streaked with gray. His sleeves are rolled up, and in the light you can see his arms are covered in scars and looks like bite marks in a couple of spots that are old. He is facing away from you. He's got one of his feet kicked up on the workbench next to him, and he's sitting in a chair. And you can hear the sound of what sounds like metal scraping on ceramic. And he doesn't look up when you walk in. Here for a registration, or are you just gonna gawk at the wall of monster teeth?
I mean, we can do
Can I do both?
And he turns around, and as he sees you, and Nibbles ducks in behind you, and his clear, prismatic scales glittering like oil on water. The man stops mid-chew with the spoon, going back to the jar. Well, I'll be damned. And he stands up. He's very smooth and graceful. Like for a graying human, you would not expect somebody to move so fluidly. He sets the looks like a ceramic pot about the size of a softball down on the bench, and kind of just tosses the spoon next to it. And he walks around and starts looking at Nibbles. Huh. Hey, yours. He questions.
I'm sorry. He said they're yours.
Is that
Like-
yours? But it was slang. He just said, "That yours?" Like really quick.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yours is that's doing a lot of stretching, but I mean, yes.
I didn't capture him, but it is a bit of a mutual association at this point.
Huh.
I mean, for paperwork purposes, yes, would probably.
Yes, for paperwork purposes, yeah, I'm responsible for him.
Never seen one with my own eyes. And he walks around the. You could call it a desk, but it's like a third the size of the room. It's more like a lab table,
Mm-hmm.
like 6 or 7 feet across, 20 feet long, just full of stuff. But as he walks around, you could easily tell you can't really hear him walking. Like he is very quiet on his feet. And he sidles up, walks up to Nibbles like he's not showing fear at all. And Nibbles kind of looks at him, head cocked, sniffs a little, and then the man reaches for his belt and looks like a string off of it, and has a couple of knots on it. And he holds it up to Nibbles' nose and holds it back across his forehead, then the other way across his head. Then he measures his chest, and I've heard about them. 3 years back, maybe 4. Gunmore Rangers ran down a report from the northern passes. And they engaged a fully grown one, though I could tell you from the report, this one ain't fully grown.
Indeed, he is not.
The shape matches, color too. Said it moved like wildfire with a mind of its own.
Oh, he
This
can go
thing
pretty
quick?
quick. Yeah, he can go pretty quick when he gets his mind to it. Fast enough to outrun a horse, anyway.
Well,
So if you ever do end up across from one, I don't recommend trying to outrun it that way.
I wouldn't either. Well, he turns over and he walks back over the desk, and he grabs a book, sets it down, grabs a book, sets it down, grabs a book, sets it down, and then he must find what he's looking for and pages through, and he starts writing some things down. He stops and he sets the book down. Is it issued any discharge or projectile weapons since you had it?
No.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely young. Probably can't yet. Walks back over and measures it, jots some more notes down. Is docile?
Yeah.
Does it respond to commands?
Yeah.
What it feels like.
Yeah. When it doesn't disagree with them. I would hesitate to call them commands and more suggestions.
All right, we'll just call it a provisional bonded status. That'll make everybody happy. He walks over the very far side of the desk and he pulls out a drawer and rifles through it, closes it, pulls out another drawer, grabs a piece of paper, and you can see the crest of Wedlamar on the top of it. And he writes some stuff down. All right, what's your name?
Alar.
Just Alar. Okay. What's the creature's name?
Nibbles.
Fitting. And he writes some more down. Goes digging through some more drawers, and after a few moments pulls out looks like a stamp. Grabs a jar off the desk and literally just dumps ink on a piece of parchment and stamps the stamp in that, and then stamps the stamp on the document.
That works.
All right. No free deployment civic zone, so don't go into residentials with him. So, here you go. That'll be 10 gold. You can pay the man downstairs.
All right. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Your friend Nibbles is now legal to roam within the city bounds. I'm gonna have to write a whole new appendix for this damn thing.
Probably.
And he goes back to that first journal he was writing in, and continues jotting information down. Have a good day.
You as
You too.
well. Oh, one other thing. Do you happen to know anything about the Condlemore Rangers?
Aye, Condlemore Rangers. Good group of lads up in the north. They keep the crazy in the mountain. Seems you slipped past them though. As he does a head nod towards Nibbles.
Well, I think the reason that Nibbles managed to slip by them, as you say, is they were otherwise occupied. We found the results of a small skirmish of theirs. I pull out two of those ranger emblems, and I kind of show it to him. And says, we collected these from the bodies. You wouldn't happen to know if there's anyone in town I can return them to?
Oof. I can take them off your hands. I'll make sure they get back to the boys up there. Happen to catch any of their names, or did they all perish?
I'm afraid these were retrieved from the corpses we found. The end result of
shame.
The end result of an encounter, I guess, that was too much for them. Mountains are dangerous, I suppose, as I hand over the two emblems.
Yeah, he gets up and comes back over and takes them from you. They keep good numbers, but yeah, those mountains are dangerous, especially if you come across a Bleak Mother. And you just want to burn that thing and keep on burning.
Well, regardless, thank you kindly. Have a nice one.
Yeah. He nods. You can see there's more sorrow on his face after receiving those emblems.
Well, yeah, I mean, presumably he probably thinks highly of these guys, and they met their fate.
Mm-hmm. He might have even known one or two of them.
Yeah. Probably why he was asking about names.
Yeah, you guys are easily able to get back to your carriage. All wheels intact. Jack and Slick sitting comfortably in it. Well, I'm assuming Jack was probably just riding around on his horse with his glaive like a patrol around the carriage.
Yeah.
Hup, 2, 3, 4. Hup, 2, 3, 4. Hiccup.
No, that's too. No, I'm probably just riding along beside him. Instead of my glaive, I got a bottle of whiskey drinking.
All right. Well, I suppose we should see Tornin off to his destination.
Yep, he is sleeping comfortably in the boot of the carriage. You're not sure how he ended up there, but you're pretty sure you just smuggled him into the city and didn't even realize it.
I doubt it's the first time a gnome's accidentally smuggled themselves into the city.
But yeah, you wake him and he wakes with a start. Aye, I'll fight you till the 3rd of May. Wait a minute. Oh, we're in Ghent. Excellent.
Yes, was there somewhere in particular in Ghent you wished to be dropped off, or is this government district good enough?
I can get some funds from the Piper's Quarter, north of here.
Very well. And we drive to where he indicated.
Yeah, so you head north out of Old Town and you go in the Piper's Quarter. And this is a sprawling section of city that is sort of like upper middle class. It looks like at one point it used to be primarily apartment buildings, but the apartments have been converted into like penthouse style residence. So instead of one building having dozens and dozens of homes in it, it's one building with a home per floor. And he, indicates this way, that way, that way, this way, and you guys end up at a looks like a bank. One second. And he hops off and he runs inside. What? 5 minutes pass. 10 minutes pass. 15 minutes pass.
Better not be robbing the place.
20 minutes pass.
He's probably robbing the place.
He comes out, get the wagon going, get it going.
Start the horses. After about a half an hour, you guys just sitting here, the sun falling lower and lower in the sky. He comes back out with a chest about the size of him, and he's, carrying it. And there's some unpleasantries exchanged as there is a human that comes out the door behind him, telling him to never come back. And then he, hollers back at them that, you weren't worth his business. The interest was abysmal. And, he comes back over to the carriage. He sets the box down, opens it, pulls out a bag, and, closes it, walks over to you, Alar, and he holds it up. As promised, 2,000 gold pieces. Oh, it's platinum, but it'll do.
Why not? Take the bag and just kind of give it like a decent half just to, check that. Yeah, it's roughly 200 coins.
Yep. It feels like 200 platinum pieces, about 4 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I open it out, start spooning it into my bag and all that, and I say, well, then I think that concludes our business. Safe travels.
Indeed. Now, must acquire a new donkey. And he picks the chest up and he sets it on his shoulder and just starts marching down the street away from you.
Trusting sort.
But yeah, you guys are in Piper's Quarter. It's the northwest section of northwest section of City. It is home to some of the laborers in the lumber mills to the south and some artisans from across the river. But it is mostly composed of modest to high income housing. And Alaric, you would know that this is one of the best places to get a cup of coffee and meet a weirdo.
All right.
Like think geek, but medieval. Like these are butterfly collectors, map collectors, stuff like that. Yeah, the eccentric, the guys that collect one thing and they got a fuck ton of it for some reason. Anything you could imagine, you could find here.
Okay, how much time do we got before the end of the day?
Not much. You'd guess maybe a half an hour. Because of how much time you waited for Torrin.
Yeah. Well, we should probably find some lodgings then.
All right. Well, Alaric, you would be familiar more so with the east side of town, as you grew up in the Brick Steps. And regardless, you would still recommend the party find its way to Sailor's Quarter, which is south of Old Town.
Indeed, I do.
Think Las Vegas, because that's what you guys are about to roll into.
Okay.
It's a maze of taverns, gambling halls, brothels, fighting pits, street performers, and many other indulgences that can be found here. But there is also plenty of accommodation, as many of the inns in this part of town are over 8 stories tall.
So this is Jack's part of town.
Indeed. It seems for every 2 inns there are 24 taverns. But yeah, you cross out of Old Town, going across the large bridges that span, and there's a street below you that you can see. There's even more foot traffic down there. But you find yourselves in Sailor's Quarter. The north side of Sailor's Quarter, where you enter, the street is illuminated by red lamps. The pillars that the lamps are on are painted bright red as well. But this part, where all the lighting is red, it is not as rowdy as Alaric had alluded to. You were expecting rumpus parties in the streets. This seems like upper class escort service in every other building.
Well, it was a lot rowdier.
Is
without.
it?
Yeah, Connie, you got some competition. A lot of competition.
Whoa.
But if you continue south, not stopping in the red part, you'll come across the lights and stuff. The lights are more of a yellow. The pillars are painted yellow as well, or the light poles. Sorry. And the crowd is much wilder here. Still not quite the 28/7 party that Alaric, said that Sailor's Quarter is, but it's well on its way there. And then if you continue further south, you can see the buildings are getting taller and more densely packed, and the color scheme of the lighting changes to blue, and this is the party that Alaric was describing. It would appear this is the rowdiest part of the Sailor's Quarter. So, where do you guys look for accommodations?
I just look for a nice, quiet hotel to or inn, I suppose, to stay in.
Yeah, that would have been more north, the quieter part of the Sailor's Quarter, if you can call it quieter. But yeah, there's a
As long as the walls are thick enough, I don't give a shit what's happening next door.
there's a nicer place that catches your eye, and its name is the Grounded Tulip.
The what?
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys head inside, ask for accommodations. The price offered to you is 20 gold for a suite. The suite apparently is indicated to have 4 separate sleeping quarters.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Right. Yeah. And they tell you if you want to park your carriage, it'll be another 2 gold, but they can have somebody go accommodate it for you.
Sure.
And yeah, you guys make your way up to the 3rd floor. And the room's nice. There's a little fountain in the middle of the like common room. A fireplace on the north wall, and 4 doors inside. But it's reasonably bougie. Not quite gold silverware, but definitely velvet sheets.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are going down for the night?
Well, I am. I mean, Jack may want to take his money and go out partying, but my character isn't.
How much money do you give him?
Well, Jack, how much money do you have?
Jack has enough to drink on.
All right.
However much that is, depends on what y'all think I can drink.
Well, you're basically sitting in the nicer part of Las Vegas right now.
Also,
So-
Jack is very heavily hammered.
Well, you just got here.
Jack's already drinking. He carries drink with him. Yeah.
Yes, but it is late evening. So if you wish to party, you will have to venture out and find a party.
Oh, well, that's no problem.
So-
Jack can do that.
You head back out. Which way do you go? The party sounds like it's more south, and where you're standing right now, it's like there's a couple of people staggering around drunk, but they look like they're dressed above your price tag. They're wearing too nice of clothes for you. You wouldn't want to drink with them. You would know they're boring drunks because they get drunk off of 2 drinks. So what do you do? Mister?
Hey, what now?
Well, you left the inn. The party has retired to the rooms, but you want to go find a party. So you venture outside and find yourself in a nicer part of the party part of town.
And I want to have a party. Take some drink. Be merry. The usual shit.
All right. Well, the area around you seems to be mostly upper class citizens. Nice clothes, drunk off 2 beers. So what do you do?
Start having a drink. I just start drinking, I guess. Start asking everybody if who wants to drink. Start giving out drinks. Yes. Buying drinks for the bar.
You're standing in the street
No, well,
outside the
he's
inn.
going to find a bar.
I mean, that technically wouldn't stop him. Like, hey, who wants a
Ah,
drink?
That's kind of true. Yeah.
and he would blend right in.
Yeah, Jack just goes and has a drink.
All right, you start heading south. The lamps change from red to yellow, and the crowd is a little more rowdy. couple of fistfights here and there. Do you wish to stop in this layer of hell, or do you wish to continue further and look for more rowdy crowd?
I mean, there's a couple of fist fights here. This sounds like a good place that Jack wants to go, but he's curious as to see what else is out there. What else is out there?
Well, you did ride with the party as they rode through the Sailor's Quarter, and then they circled back to the nicer part, so it's a little bit quieter.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
then
would
I'm
know
going-
the more
yeah.
south you go, the more sailors you encounter, and the drunker the crowd gets.
Yes, that sounds like a place I want to go.
So you continue south. The lights transition from yellow to blue, and you are standing basically in shoulder to shoulder of people just drinking, yelling, hooting, and hollering in the street. There are dozens of taverns around you.
It's like my kind of place.
Indeed, you blend right in.
I'm going to look for the the one with the most people yelling and screaming. If there's people flying outdoors and shit, that's where I'm going.
All right, give me a perception check. Don't worry. I don't think you can fail the DC.
Perception.
Yeah, so you're standing. You're reasonably tall, so you're ahead over most of the crowd. There are other Goliaths and half orcs that are near your height, and when you're
Right.
looking around, you notice a particularly bright building. Looks like it has 2 stories that is just like painfully lit with torches. And as you're looking around, you watch a half orc come flying off the top balcony.
Oh yeah, yep. Sounds like Jack's kind of place. Yep.
Yeah, and he falls into the crowd, and there's hollering and yelling and bickering, and more punches are thrown, but you push your way through and go inside. And inside, there's a large rectangular room, and in its center, a large rectangular bar. There are 3 different bartenders, and they seem to constantly be turning and pouring drinks and handing drinks out. And on the far wall, you can see a flight of stairs full of people. But that looks like that goes to the upstairs, where that half-orc came flying from. So what would you like to do?
I walk up to the bar and drop a bag of gold and say, "Let's everybody get drunk."
The barmaid walks over to you, seeing your bag of gold drop, picks it up, shakes it in her hand. All right, another round. Break out 6 kegs. Bring 3 upstairs.
Ah, wait, what?
It's on the Goliath here.
Ah,
Yeah, and she hands you a mug that is the size of your head.
oh, I am here. This is Jack's home. He is going to move into this place. This is perfect.
Yeah. So you're just gonna hang out here and buy drinks on the first floor?
Yes.
You're not gonna see who threw the orc off the half orc?
Mm-mm. Well,
All
yeah,
right.
actually, yeah. Well, you know what? On second thought, yes.
Now that I mention
look
it.
like there's They look like there's more fun going on the second floor. So yes.
Yeah, you head up following your 3 kegs that you bought. And people are cheering and patting you on the back as you go up the stairs. And you get up there. And there is a ring of 3 Goliaths and 4 half-orcs. And in the center, there is a Goliath and a half-orc. They appear to be arm wrestling.
Jack's got to get in on this.
Yeah.
Do
You
I
go
know
over.
any of these people?
No, these are all complete strangers to you.
Jack wants to play. He roars out as he heads that.
Yeah, you walk over there. The Goliaths immediately, like cheer and like they kind of pull you to their side of the circle that's around this table that the arm wrestling is taking place on. And yeah, you watch, and the two arm wrestle for a little bit. The half orc wins the first bout, then they switch arms and they go again. And the half orc wins the second bout. And there is, cheering and booing. Money is thrown across from each other. It looks like they're wagering several gold on these matches against each other, and there's a big pile you can see on the ground between them. And the Goliath next to you turns and says, "You want to take the champion?"
Yes. Jack steps forward.
Yeah, and the the other Goliaths cheer, and the half orcs, they all start booing. And you sit down at the table. So I'm gonna need from you a series of strength checks. Athletics. Strength athletics. Sorry. So I'll need a total of 3 of them.
Total 3 of them.
Yep. And don't forget your background feature, as that does come into play for this, as this is a show of feat, or show of a feat of strength for a crowd.
One bad roll.
Ugh, 1 second, I am recovering my dog from the exterior. And of course, she insists she gets a treat. But I can't say no. She's too damn cute.
Of course.
All right. Yeah. The first, you guys go back and forth, and it's only a few seconds, and you slam his arm down on the table. And there's cheering from both sides for a little bit, and then the orcs, the half orcs start booing again. And then the second bout, the orc fights, or the half orc fights back a little bit. He manages to just barely get your arm down on the table. Like, he's fighting the whole way. And then you guys switch arms, and you flip him off the table, and he goes rolling into the half orcs behind him. And there is cheering, a lot of cheering. The Goliaths are in upheaval because of your feat. They absolutely love the display. Then the half orcs pick the other half orc that just lost and toss him off the building. And another half orc steps up to the table He pounds his chest with his fist. And he throws a handful of gold onto the pile, which at a glance, that pile of gold looks to be about 100 gold deep. Do you accept his challenge, Jack?
Yes,
Miss?
Jack
Yeah.
accepts this challenge.
All right. Yeah. He sits down at the table. You sit across from him, and I'm going to need another series of checks. So 3 again.
Okay. Athletics again?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Same exact roll.
Fucking hell. This
Oh,
time
that's
he
okay.
wins.
Nope. You beat him 2-0.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You, the first round, it's a little bit of a fight, but you do manage to pin his arm. Second round, you easily put his arm down. And there is no third round. And once again, the half orcs pick him up and throw him off. And you see the ones that have been thrown off has slowly made their way back up. This has taken probably about an hour or so of, all the showmanship, the beer chugging. It's been a hell of a party. You have definitely lost track of time, but you don't care. You're drinking. And yeah, the next half orc comes back or stands up and walks over to you, pounds his chest. He says something in Orcish, but you don't care.
Yeah.
All right. One more roll.
Just one or one more set of 3?
One more set of 3. Apologies. Keep 2d2 minus keep h1. All right. Yeah. This guy's the same as the last. You pound his arm into the table in the first round. And then you gonna do anything fancy with that crit?
And God, I go tear his arm off. That'd be a little extreme.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Insight. What is that?
I mean, you're
Oh,
you're inciting the legal ramifications of ripping somebody's arm off in a bar. Yeah, you don't think that actually would be like injury would not be unexpected. Like you don't think the guard would be called for that.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Jack's just gonna keep when he goes to throw him down, he's just gonna keep pulling until the guy just
Yeah, you don't manage to rip his arm off. There's a lot of force revolved around that, but you do manage to severely dislocate his shoulder and break his forearm and hand. There is a bit of a ooh from the crowd as everybody can hear the bones snapping. But as the orc falls, or the half orc falls, everybody starts cheering again. They did not care one bit that you just possibly mangled that half orc for life.
yeah.
And he gets picked up and thrown off the building in his state. And the last half orc, the others have all kind of gotten back up here, but they're not quite cheering as much as they were. Like they're still cheering their bros on, but clearly you've become the competition that they weren't expecting. So I'll need one more series of 3 rolls. You really have an insight of +3? I just noticed that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I have proficiency in insight.
Ah, okay.
Jack
But yep.
is very
Drunk
smart.
wisdom.
Yeah, he is drunk wisdom, exactly.
All right, one more series of 3 as the last half orc challenger stands toe to toe with you, pounding his chest, or at least attempting to. He doesn't seem to be hitting it as hard as the others were. He looks nervous. He's also the smallest of them. So 3 more rolls, mister. As you go for the final bout of this arm wrestling competition. Yep, once again, you body this half orc. He didn't stand a chance. And the once you put his hand down for the second time, the Goliaths don't even hesitate. They pick you up and are like holding you above them, like crowd surfing style, cheering.
Spraying beer all over the bar. Ah!
Oh yeah, and every time like you spill from your mug, somebody comes along with a pitcher and fills it.
Oh, the merriment's gonna go on forever.
Yes, indeed. But the pile of gold is divvied among the Goliaths, and they give you what seems to be the lion's share of the pile as they're dividing it, because you basically just came in and clean sweeped all of the half orcs. And yeah, you're given what amounts to about 60 gold pieces.
Which was not as much as I had when I walked in here.
I have no idea how much Alar gave you.
I don't think it was that much. That's a lot of gold for a cheap bar. That's a lot of gold. But yeah, Jack's gonna pocket it and clap them in on the back and continue the Goliath on the back and continue to drink with them. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, you begin socializing with the Goliaths. The half orcs, like they seem all like chummy and buddy. Like the competition was entirely the arm wrestling. Like as far as you can tell, these guys are probably from the same ship. But as the night goes on, you learn that this competition is like a yearly thing, and they just any half orcs or Goliaths that want to join. That's the whole point. It's not racism. It's just most of the other races can't really compete in a feat of strength against those two races. So they're all from the same ship. This is just something when they're in port in Ghent, they come here and do this arm wrestling. And it at one point somebody accidentally got thrown off the roof, and they turned it into the part of the tradition when you lose. Is there anything else you
That's
do,
pretty amusing.
mister?
No, just share with that. I also tell the half orcs how much of a good battle it was, good contest it was, and the next time I come through town, if they still think they are manly enough to stand against Jack, then he will put them in their place again.
Oh yeah, and they jest and jive right back with you. They're not like intimidated and so to speak, but they give that
Yeah.
camaraderie back to you. Like, oh, we'll be stronger. We'll make sure we bench more crates. All right. But I think with the beginning of the long rest and Jack making new friends, that is where we will call the session.
Yeah, alrighty.